Why can't we print more money and make everyone rich? Isn't more money in people's hands a good thing? We answer these questions in today's video in our series Obvious Questions. Hi, I'm Ujjwal from Tickertape, and if you like simple and jargon-free explanation to topics in finance and economics, please subscribe to this channel. So this is a question that we've heard many times before. Let's break it down. We need food, shelter, luxury, things we need to survive and consume. Money buys these things, right? And countries print money. Okay, so let's print more of it and give it to everyone. Problem solved, right? Nope, not that simple. To understand why, let's first discuss how currency and prices work. Let's start with currency. What is currency? What is the value of this 10 rupee note? The answer is nothing. This is just an indicator of value. The worth of a currency note is the value that people will give you in exchange for it. If for whatever reason people stop accepting currency notes, then they will just be normal pieces of paper, colorful, but ordinary pieces of paper. And if that happens, this, they will all be the same. Worthless. It's important to understand that the value of this can change. Sure, the number will not change. 500 will stay 500. But what you can buy with this, that can change. And the second important thing is that this is not money. This is just a representation of money. I'll give you an example. Suppose you have a fruit basket, right? You won't go out and say apple, apple, apple. No, right? That's just foolish. You'll just say 3 apples. 3 is a representation here. Numbers are also a man-made concept. Something to think about. Okay, so what's money? Money is just an idea. It's a scale that we use to assign value to goods and services so that we can trade on them. Before the concept of money was invented, we had the barter system. If I had a sack of rice and you were, say, an expert plumber, I'd probably give you half a sack of rice for you to fix my tap. Problem solved, right? Both of us are happy. But this became complex very, very soon. It had to. How many cups of corn am I supposed to give to my doctor for him to check my fever? So, we came up with the concept of money so that things can be valued on a common scale. So now let's say that cup of corn is worth 10 money units and that doctor's appointment is worth 150 money units. Amazing, right? So now I don't have to carry my bag of corn everywhere. The invention of money was probably one of the most important achievements in human history, probably at the same level as the invention of the wheel and the discovery of fire. Now let's understand how prices of different goods are determined. Say it's your cheat day today and you are craving a bar of 5-star. A lot of steps have gone into, sourcing the chocolate, manufacturing, packaging, marketing, and then transferring the 5-star bar to a store near you. The seller decides that after factoring in all the costs of the raw materials and adding his own premium to it, his profit, he decides that he will sell the 5-star to you for 10 rupees. Till now, it's only been one-sided estimate of the value of that bar of 5-star. Now let's say you agree with him that the value should be 10 rupees and you decide to pay him the 10 rupees and take the 5-star from him. What has happened is that the transaction has taken place and the market, which consists of you, the buyer, and the seller, has collectively decided that the value of the bar of 5-star should be 10 rupees. Now what happens if your friends decide to pay more for the bar of 5-star, say 15 rupees? If enough number of buyers are willing to pay more, the seller might decide to just increase the price of the 5-star to 15 rupees. If your friends end up purchasing the 5-star at 15 rupees, the value or the price of 5-star is now 15 rupees. Even if you think now that the value should be 10 rupees, you cannot purchase that 5-star at 10 rupees, you'll have to pay 15 rupees. This is called demand pull inflation. Basically, the increased demand of the bar of 5-star has brought the price up, pulled the price up to a level of 15 rupees now. Sometimes the inflation is due to other reasons as well. Assume a scenario where sourcing, manufacturing, packaging, marketing, logistics, all the steps involved in the production of 5-star cost much more than what they did earlier. What will the seller do? The seller will have to increase the price of the 5-star to make sure that these increased costs are accounted for. This is called cost push inflation. This increases the price of the goods, 5-star in this case, because the cost of the raw materials increased. This also decreases the value of rupee because 1 rupee is now able to purchase less amount of 5-star than what it could do earlier. Okay, with me so far? Now let's get back to our original question. Why not print a lot of currency and just give it out to people? Increase everyone's life. What will happen is that people will have more money in their hands. They'll be willing to pay more for goods and services that they need and desire, and this will lead to demand pull inflation, and the value of rupee will go down. Let's see what happens on the cost side. All the steps involved in the production of goods and services like manufacturing, packaging, etc., they will cost more in rupee terms because the value of rupee is less now, right? If we keep printing more and more currency, demand pull and cost push inflation will work together to bring the prices to an unimaginable level. For example, in Zimbabwe, what happened is that the inflation had driven prices up to such a level that people had to carry cash in wheelbarrows to buy eggs and milk. Imagine that. This kind of rapid inflation will create a lot of problems. Imagine that you have 1,000 rupees saved in your bank account. Since the value of rupee has come down, your savings are worth much less now. Prices will increase so rapidly that there will be a lot of confusion in the market as to where the prices are because they will change every day. This is called hyperinflation. It's absolute chaos. Hyperinflation leads to a lot of other problems as well, in addition to domestic prices. First, the value of our currency will go down internationally because international investors will have much less confidence in our currency. Second, our importers who purchase international goods and services by paying for them in Indian rupees will have to pay much more because the value of rupee is now lower than before. They might go out of business. Third, a lot of companies might also go out of business because they will not be able to afford the increased costs because of the rupee devaluation. This will lead to massive unemployment. And fourth, government's tax revenue might not be enough to provide for the services that it provides for its citizens because of the devaluation of rupee and the massive unemployment, which leads to decreased tax revenue. To solve for this, the government will have to either increase taxes, which will break our backs, or print even more currency, which will make the entire system even worse. Scary stuff, right? So you see now how just printing more currency will not solve a country's problems. It will generally make us much worse off than where we started from. However, there are two groups of people who actually benefit from a hyperinflation scenario. Can you guess who they are? Let us know your answers in the comment section below. And for more such videos on simple explanations to obvious questions, please subscribe to our channel. Goodbye and keep learning.